Ladies and gentlemen, we're here.
I'm part of the Kliq, isn't everybody?
Yes! 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 I got an idea, yeah. Beat up John Cena!
Give me a hell yeah!
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Too sweet! Here goes the mother! This is where the power lies!
I am the man.
We need if you can survive!
It's showtime, folks!
The following episode is scheduled for one fall, and it is for your listening pleasure. This is In The Kliq.
What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and joining me once again is my brother Tommy. How's it going?
I am doing good. How you doing?
And joining us virtually is our good brother from Pro Wrestling 101 on Instagram. It's Richard. How's it going?
Fine, how are you?
Come on, Richard. Turn that frown upside down. Are you thinking happy thoughts right now? Are you okay? Are you? There's so many different jokes I can think of, but I'll bite my tongue for now.
I've heard that silence is golden for radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's take our first caller.
In the podcast world, especially. They can just fast forward through all this. Skip ahead. 15-second intervals.
Where's our first caller?
We should do callers. That would be pretty funny. See who would call us.
It's going to be Philip and Cindy. Cindy's going to ask us why we're not watching Impact as much.
And then
I'll tell her there's nothing worth watching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So back at it for another episode of In The Kliq. As always, remember to subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform. Email us, inthekliq@gmail.com. Of course, follow us on social media. Get the merch. Click the link in our bio to access that. A lot of stuff to talk about this week. Unfortunately, let's do some clickbait news and have to talk, unfortunately, some sad news in the pro wrestling world. So it was announced a few days ago now. I'm trying to think so was this Thursday? I think it was. It was announced from the NWA that Josephus, aka the question mark, aka real name Joseph Hudson, passed away. From this one article I'm reading here, it says undiagnosed medical issue, but then I think it was it Dutch Mattel? Right, Tommy? Is that the one?
Yeah, probably.
Who's the one with the mustache? And
yeah, Dutch Mantel.
Yeah, Dutch.
Yeah, Dutch Mantel. He tweeted out that apparently he heard it was like an aneurysm or something. Ooh. That what happened to Josephus, but yeah, man, sad news here. Richard, just kind of your thoughts when you heard about it. I saw you post about it on Instagram. I believe it was a Thursday night?
Yeah.
Or Wednesday night. It might have been Wednesday night. I don't know which night it was, but yeah.
Yeah.
Super bummer because, I mean, look, the guy was just getting like some, smaller attention. If those of you who have not seen the NWA on Power on YouTube, which is now not there, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
He had this funny character where he wore an old school wrestling mask with a question mark on the top of it, on his forehead. And pretty much all he would say is karate and would do like karate chops and stuff in the ring, like any of us could do. And It was like a comedy act that just got over like gangbusters. So it's, then the pandemic hits and kind of, puts the momentum on hold for the time being, and was definitely a fan favorite for that show. So it's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, it was most recently, as you said, the new character came up with the question mark. I love, those early episodes of NWA Power. He was trying to be two people at once. He was trying to be Josephus and still be the question mark, and they were never they were never in the same room at the same time, and so he would play it off. That's not me. That's not me. And everyone, and when Josephus would come out, they would yell question mark. He's like, no, that's not me. So that was so fun, and just it was such a simple, fun character. And then the question mark, the vignettes that they had on those early episodes of NWA Power, where it was like this, what do we want to call it, big mythical creature that was coming, that was going to dominate NWA. It was just really funny.
And what was the
Monrovia.
Monrovia.
Yeah. So, and then with the question mark debut, he was, as you said, just doing basic karate chops and aligned himself with Aaron Stevens, is it Aaron?
Aaron Stevens.
Yeah, Aaron Stevens.
Aaron Shooter Stevens.
AKA Damian Sandow. And when he won the NWA, I think it was the national title.
It was the national title.
Question mark was in his corner and his sensei.
Yeah.
And so their whole dynamic back and forth was just really fun through those episodes of NWA Power. So
it was good old slapstick comedy.
Yeah, and also, I mean, think about it when he was more Josephus. Josephus was. Would you say so for anyone who didn't watch, I wasn't watching closely. It was like a cult leader, right?
Yeah, but it was like a somewhat of a comedic cult character, which I think kind of confused people. But if you're paying close enough attention, that's what it was, because it was just kind of that open up your third eye type of bullshit.
Yeah. And this was taking place before NWA Power launched. So this was, I think, really focused on the 10 Pounds of Gold series on YouTube.
Yes.
And was he, if I remember, feuding with Tim Storm?
He was.
They had a empty arena match that's worth your while to go out and
then
search people.
They also had another match for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
And then also there was was that the one against Nick Aldis where the stipulation loser shaved his head, or he shaved his head?
No, I think that was
that Tim Storm
that was
as well?
Tim Storm, yeah.
No, I think that was David Arquette.
Oh
yeah, it was David Arquette.
That's right. Was that the NWA 70 show, the 78th anniversary?
No.
Or was that a separate show?
That was a separate. It was a one-off show. It was a pop-up event, they called it.
Yeah. So Josephus, after he moved on from Tim Storm, he started that thing with David Arquette, and then.
And funny enough, the guy I think who was the referee, if I recall, was Dexter Loomis.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I gotta check that out now, man.
Samuel Shaw.
Yes.
So he shaved his head, and so it had a whole new dimension as far as the shaved head look he had, and then you try and grow it back out, and obviously by the point NWA Power launch, he had pretty good thick hair going. It wasn't as long as it once was, but it was still
kind of looked like Bam Margera.
Yeah. So, but the Josephus character, from what I saw on NWA's YouTube page on 10 Pounds of Gold, very fun as far as, like I said, the cult leader, and just let's see, just when he was having fun with it, and just it was a good character for at the time, the NWA, and he, I guess, was part of the NWA for 10 years. So even before NWA Power, before they became really popular again in pop culture a couple years ago, he was helping that company out at the time, and and keeping the NWA name alive and well with events and wrestling for them.
He was Billy Corgan's right-hand man, aside from Dave Lagana.
Yeah, I mean, just one of the early guys on that roster during, quote, maybe the little more down years. But also, keep in mind, also the first season of Dark Side of the Ring, he was the actor playing Bruiser Brody in those vignettes or the segments of that episode on the first season. So
the dramatizations are where
so I mean, just from what I've been seeing on social media and stuff, obviously a well-loved guy, and people are very sad and heartbroken,
and he was a very intelligent guy too, from what I've heard. And,
so
and I just want to touch that.
I'm with you 100% on that, Tommy. That's what I meant by it kind of went over people's heads with the cult leader thing, because it was clearly there to be funny, and I think people were trying to take it serious, but it was just so intellectual that it threw people off.
Yeah. And I just felt that his rivalry with Tim Storm, that's what to me brought the NWA back, and that's when it brought brought it on all cylinders, for me.
Yeah, gain the momentum going because Tim Storm was champion for a long time when it was not as cool to watch, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
So to Tim Storm, to his credit, he was fighting the good fight, keeping the NWA alive and well. And then the rivalry, Josephus really kind of put things on the map. And then Nick Aldis came into the fold and they started building up their roster and putting on more shows and then NWA Power launch with Billy Corgan and all that. But from everything I saw online, he was like a well-loved guy. Leaves behind a son, sadly. Yeah. So thoughts and prayers with them. And it's very sad. And we definitely all love watching him and respect everything he did. So, like I said, thoughts and prayers with everyone, and hopefully, get through this tough time right now. It's already a tough year already as it is. So
our condolences and Godspeed.
Yeah. So, and speaking of the NWA, just going off of that, there's been some news coming out in the last couple days or so. So over the weekend, a lot of people were noticing the NWA YouTube channel just went empty, completely blank. All the videos were gone, deleted. I don't know if it's just hidden, whatever the case may be. Muted. So a lot of people were like, what is going on? And people were trying to figure it out, and no one knew the answer. People were tweeting, I guess, Dave Marquez, and he tweeted out he had no idea, so quit asking him. And so a lot of people were speculating, what is going on? Is there something big on the horizon? Reports are coming out that something big, a big announcement is coming from NWA in the coming days. So once we hear that, we'll break that down. And then also another report came out. They're going to start some taping next month. So over the span of a few days. So I'm guessing it's, both of those are one and the same. So I'm guessing, maybe they're going to bring back NWA Power, some show under the NWA umbrella, and record some new episodes, and hopefully I get a spring launch at some point. But yeah, Richard, any thoughts on this news of what could be next for the NWA?
I think it should be a new show. I don't know if it's going to be on a platform or a channel or what, but I think based off of everyone going their separate ways besides Nick Aldis, that they maybe should just call it something else. And if they don't, fine, cool, whatever. I'm excited because, look, we lost everyone that was there. Yeah. However, how many people that were there beforehand did we really know before NWA? So it's just kind of Zicky Dice, Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa wasn't a known wrestler per se, unless you were going to APW shows or Shine or Shimmer.
Lucha Underground, yeah.
Yeah. So, I have confidence in them.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely. So I don't know. At this point we could just speculate. So I would hope this is going to be an announcement that the NWA is coming back, whether it's going to be Power or it's going to be something different that's yet to be seen, where it's going to be filmed, yet to be seen. If it's a TV deal, I would hope it's some form of a TV deal where they can make some more money. Cause I
don't think so.
They put everything on YouTube. I don't know how much revenue they were making.
How are you
going to
get a TV deal without having any stars to tell them who you have?
And that's just it. Yeah. Could it be another YouTube series, which is cool? I love how easy it was to watch everything on YouTube.
I would assume that they've blocked out the YouTube content to get people talking. Mm-hmm. It's clearly getting people's attention. So I think when they make their announcement, everything's going to pop back up because the website is down as well.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't make sense that you would shut all this down if you were going out of business. Mm-hmm. I think they're doing this to get people talking.
Yeah, look, in the last 24 hours, how many people have been talking about NWA again, like this in a long time,
and so trending on social media.
It's gonna be interesting how the roster is gonna fill itself up again. As you brought up a good point, Richard, I think a lot NWA, to their credit, they brought in a lot of people and made some new stars, and then those people have gone on to other things now. In the last year, how many people have gone on to NXT and AEW now? So even Impact. So there's a lot of names from that roster who started NWA Power and now moved on to these other promotions. So NWA, if anything, it could be the next roster can be a lot of fun talent, could be a lot of upcoming young people that are not signed to any major promotion, or it could be some other veterans that we've seen in the past who could come in and help out the younger talent as well. So it could be a really exciting time right now for them.
As far as we know, they have Nick Aldis still, Tim Storm, Trevor Murdoch, Aaron Stevens. Was Aaron tag team champions with
Aaron Stevens and Kratos are the last NWA tag team champions. That was on Primetime Live. So yeah.
And
So
and he replaced Question Mark out of the blue.
That's right. If I remember, I mean, I wasn't watching Primetime Live at that point, that far into it. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah. What names they're going to bring in, and will they film in Atlanta, or would they do down in Southern California like they were for Primetime Live? So a lot of options there, but I think for them, they probably saw all these other promotions constantly putting on shows, empty arena shows. So they're probably like, we got to do something. I mean, to their credit. Yeah, I mean, Billy Corgan, to his credit, like early on, he's like, we're going to keep our wrestlers safe. We're not going to put on shows and, expose one another potentially. And he's also was like, hey, the audience is a big part of our show. So if we can't do studio wrestling without an audience, it's going to look weird, sound weird. But we've seen other people do it and do it pretty successfully, or at least, manage through that as best they could. So they're probably like, all right, you know what? It's been almost a year now. Let's just do it. Let's just get something out there. We've been off on hiatus for way too long. And it'd be also interesting, to keep things maybe going with Ring of Honor, maybe try to keep working with them as well. So a lot of questions in the air, no pun intended, but I'm excited for NWA. But then again, I'm like, oh my God, that's another thing to watch again. We're always joking.
Oh, that's the easiest thing to watch, though.
I
have all the time in the world for that.
And MLW.
Yeah, so a lot of good stuff. I mean, there's no shortage of content in 2021 when it comes to pro wrestling. So we shall wait and see. All right, let's move on over to this week in WWE TV. As you probably heard a couple episodes ago, John LaRocca and I, we were scheduled to talk with each other already. He actually watched an episode of Raw, which he doesn't normally do. He actually wanted to see the fallout of Elimination Chamber play out. So he watched it, and then we went ahead and just covered the majority of those highlights there. So for time constraints and just to make things easier, for tonight, we're going to talk just NXT, SmackDown. A lot happened on both shows, and it's still going to be an action-packed episodes with that alone. So let's jump over to Wednesday night. And Richard, let's go ahead and start with your boy, Karrion Kross. What a match here. The match was supposed to be just him and Santos Escobar, but in reality, it was a 3-on-1 match the majority of the time. So, what'd you think of Karrion Kross's match against Santos?
You know what I thought.
You thought it was okay, right?
The question is, what did you think of it?
I thought that was Karrion Kross's best match in NXT thus far.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
The match he had with Dijakovic was pretty damn good.
Oh,
This was just chaos. It was grand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This was his style,
Yeah, this. If you follow any of him in AAA and watch any of those matches, this is Killer Kross.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing is I think early on when he came in NXT, maybe they were trying to position him or use him in a way that wasn't really fulfilling his strengths. But this match, I really enjoyed. I was like, oh my God, he now looks like a beast, a monster. Yeah. Like he could take a beating, but then, if he gives a second to like heal up or, get himself in order, he'll start laying it back into you. And
just needs to learn how to do this and throw those punches. Those 3 punches mean out the world.
Yeah.
This also reminded me, it had the Florida territory vibes. It reminded me of...
He's gonna start hulking up.
But this, he was showing like shades of Maniac Mark Lewin. That was his influence right there.
Absolutely. It was beautiful. I mean, he completely annihilated them. And
the best part.
I think Escobar looked golden as well. Like he came out. I think his stock rose quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, it was just interesting, this matchup, how it came to be. So, to be honest, okay, let me ask you this. So was Karrion the babyface in this match?
Yes.
Okay. So he's normally been treated as a heel in NXT. Now, I wonder, is this a one-time thing? We're going to see him as a babyface, or moving forward, is he starting to shift more in the middle, like a tweener?
I think he's a tweener.
He's a shades of grade guy right now. But like when he's heel, you'll know. Because this is a guy that was when he was in Impact, waterboarded the Sandman. So,
oh my god. So, so for me, I know we haven't really talked a lot about NXT TV in the last couple weeks because we were focusing on the pay-per-views. But so over the last couple weeks, Santos Escobar and him have been, jabbing at each other. Remember, Santos cut the promo where he says, I'm still champion. I can defend the title and not get hurt and have to relinquish it. And that was more or less calling out Karrion Kross and Karrion Kross.
He's calling out a bunch of people, though. Because, I mean, if you think about it, he's calling out Finn Balor as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was great that he was trying to establish himself as the best champion in NXT, that he's been healthy the whole time. He's to beat up people. He hasn't had to give up the title. And so it was really interesting that the two of them are going at it. Out of all the matchups Karrion Kross could have, I mean, it's the Cruiserweight champion, his, big body going at it.
Here's why it makes sense, though, that in terms of a booking standpoint, not necessarily a story, is that those two both were in Lucha Underground. And they were both in AAA at the same time, so they knew that they could already have good matches with each other.
Okay.
All right.
And I think they knew that Karrion needed something a little bit different because, like, usually when he faces someone the size of a Santos Escobar, it's one and done in about 2 minutes or less. So
yeah. It's so I really enjoyed this matchup. I would imagine maybe this is a one and done thing as far as where it goes from here.
Look, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like this should have ended the show? Like I feel like even though the Adam Cole Roderick Strong thing was after this, like I felt like I was done by that. Like it was a good moment, it was a good segment, but at the same time, it just felt like, God, I wish, because I was all hyped still from Kross and Escobar, so it was just kind of like I'm done,
mentally drained.
Yeah.
Now I hear what you're saying. Like that would have been a great way to end the episode. Karrion Kross standing tall, the credits in the corner, ending the show.
Yeah,
but I guess the timing of it, it is what it is. As far as they had to tell this Adam Cole story still.
Yeah,
and Karrion Kross, they're two big like a storylines, but it's like, all right, we'll just put one after the other. I mean, the match was technically supposed to happen last week, if I remember correctly, right? Or a couple weeks ago, but
last week
it got postponed to now. So it was just an unfortunate timing issue where they have Kross, this match to get done, Adam Cole tell his story because he didn't talk the week before. And then next week, they already got a busy show with the women's tag titles. And then in 2 weeks, they got Io and Toni Storm. So NXT for the coming weeks, it's already a stacked show every week. They're already planned out. So they're like...
This is more the way NXT used to be, because you didn't watch NXT early on, right? Like
not the very early years, no.
So the early years were like that. Which were always on Wednesdays, by the way. NXT's always been on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But because it was taped. So, they would have 4 weeks in the cans and they'd say 2 weeks down the line, 3 weeks down the line. So it's really cool that they're starting to do that again, because now it's something for you to look forward to and remind you. So it's not just like, I have to tune in next weekend. If you tune in next week and it's not there, it's like, oh, right, it's the week after.
Yeah, no, it's nice when they have everything lined up and scheduled out. They got their stories in place and, are very organized. That is great. But this match itself, I enjoyed as far as, it started out in the back. Santos Escobar and Cruz pull up and they're wearing like jumpsuits.
Yeah.
Kross dressed with like jeans and the cut up shirt.
It looked like he had khaki slacks on.
Yeah, I thought I was like, is it jeans?
They look like Dickies or something.
Yeah,
like that,
but I like how he came out there. He met him out there, started fighting.
I loved how they were beating him down, and then like he's like when he started to get up, it wasn't like I'm forcing to get up. It's like I'm getting up and I'm going to wreck you guys when I get up.
Yeah,
because they didn't stop and pat each other on the back. Like they just kept on him and he got up eventually.
Yeah, and then eventually he was trying to get Santos in the back of the van, and he threw the door down on him, and he's like, oh, and then he grabbed like the pick, was a pickaxe
pickaxe,
and broke into the door. So it was great. And he was like punching into the side of the van or the truck. And, but it's interesting, like the two guys would jump in, beat him up, and then run off after he would like get back at them. So it was constant like 1-on-1, then 3-on-1, 1-on-1, 3-on-1. So it made Karrion look like a badass here. And
very strong.
And it didn't hurt Escobar. It helped Escobar, I thought.
Yeah. And if anything, yeah, no, I was gonna say, it was just like, it's a great partner for him to work with as well, as far as Santos' wrestling skills.
And plus, my favorite part of the match was when they went inside. Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza and Santos Escobar, they were gaining momentum, and you see Santos Escobar, he's like kind of strutting like, yeah, I got the best of him now, and then suddenly he's mounting a comeback. Karrion Kross grabs Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza, and he throws them against that plexiglass over the barricade. That scene, that part right there just reminded me of like, it looked like something out of a bar fight scene in a movie.
So it was great.
Threw him through the doors.
Yeah, it was great.
The way he was standing there,
knocked the wall over. He steps over them. He grabs Escobar, and then he superplex
Doomsday
him.
Saito.
Yeah, onto the table. Great spot, and then went into the ring, and I yelled.
I was just so happy the table broke.
Yeah.
With everything that was going on, if that table didn't break, it would have been tragic.
Well, you gotta get Toni Storm out there; she can easily knock it down. But then it went in the ring, and then they didn't spend too much time in the ring. But yeah, then
they were ready to go home.
Yeah, I think we were laughing because we saw the ref. I think after the table spot,
you can hear him say, "Go home."
And so they go in the ring, and then I like how he TikTok was a time's out or time's up, and then he hits him, and gets the finish. Let me ask you though, do you like Karrion's finish though, of like the back of the head? I was kind of wondering, like, maybe could he use a different finisher? Hey,
what's Jericho's finisher right now? Your buddy.
The Judas effect.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of on the fence of.
Yeah, there you go. So I think it's fine that he's using this.
And so I always wonder, like, maybe down the road it can evolve into something else. Like
he's got 3 finishers.
So the
cross jacket.
Cross jacket. He's got that forearm to the back of the head or whatever it is.
And the suplex.
And the Saito suplex.
Saito suplex, yes.
I love the way he does the Saito.
Yeah,
like that's the way that Masa did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wrecks a fool with that.
Yeah. So it's like I said, I enjoy this match. It made him look strong, very badass.
Think of it like this. Imagine if Kurt Angle just dumped a guy on his head with the angle slam. Like, that's what the Saito suplex looks like to me.
Okay.
Because the way he does it's violent. Like, you see a lot of other people do it where they'll lift the guy up and hold him there for a second and then dump him, but he snaps it every time, and it's just brutal.
Yeah. So, like I said, I really enjoyed this match. He looked very strong here. It played to his strengths in this, and moving forward, it's gonna be interesting if he's gonna stay like in this tweener gray area, as you mentioned, and that might be better for him. I think it might be better for like baddies go after him, and therefore he can be more of a badass and not so much trying to be like this squash guy who just squashes people. Like,
they need to get the microphone in his hand more, because that's like one of his strongest suits is his talking ability. And
I get it. Like, Scarlett was trying to do a lot of talking on his behalf, and he would just say TikTok. But yeah, you're right. I want to see more from him than just saying TikTok. Like, as hearing from you and other people, he is good on the mic himself. So I would love to hear more from him talking. So I think hopefully this is a turning point for his character. A lot of people can really start gravitating towards that. Maybe we didn't see as much before he got injured last year. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, speaking of it, as the main event, not the main event, but the last segment of the night was Adam Cole finally coming out, speaking his mind about what happened. Roderick Strong confronted him, and he was all, I'm sorry what I did for Kyle O'Reilly. I'm sorry what I did to him and hurt him. I feel so bad. And Roderick Strong was like trying to hug him, make him feel better. It's okay, man. We're brothers. And they hugged. And then, Adam Cole got down, and hit him in the balls.
Low blow.
Low blow on Roderick Strong and told him you're stupid. Grabbed the Undisputed Era chain necklace, broke it off, threw it.
Good.
And I guess, is Undisputed Era officially dead now?
Yep.
Man, I have all these Undisputed
Suck it,
Era
Danny. You can still wear it. They were around long enough.
Come on, you knew this was coming. The long-term storytelling
I told you it was coming.
Is fantastic. Yes, I know. I know.
Oh, my God.
Adam Cole right now is reaching Tommaso Ciampa level heat. Now.
That was a shock to the system, Danny.
Yes, it was.
I'm trying to do it. But no, I love what happened here. And, hey, it sums up perfectly as far as Adam Cole. He's been a baby face for like the last 6 months, since last summer with the whole Pat McAfee stuff. That was kind of the face turn for Undisputed Era.
Well, it's hard to say he's a baby face. He's more so he was taking on someone that got more heel heat than him. Yeah.
But then then you look at the War Games and stuff. So Pat McAfee made Undisputed Era more babyface-esque. So, and then Kyle O'Reilly was getting his push against Finn Balor, and after Kross had to drop the title, and they had like that fatal 4-way to get Finn the championship, and Kyle was booked very strong there, and that's when he started kind of getting his run. So it's a very sad moment, and. Well, I mean, if you're a fan of Adam Cole and he turned on his bros after all these years and how successful.
If you're a fan of Adam Cole, this is awesome for you because he's getting a big push.
So in the last couple weeks, he's turned back. I think the big thing I heard some people saying, in some ways, people thought maybe Undisputed Era was getting a little stale the last few months or end of 2020.
What else you do with them?
And that's the shit. I think they kind of ran their course as far as what they did as heels. They fulfilled the prophecy. They all won their titles. They definitely were like the four horsemen of NXT. They
fulfilled the booking prophecy.
Exactly. Yeah. So what's next? They got to break up one another. So
this totally has Shawn Michaels writing all over right here.
So I mean, the last thing is maybe Bobby Fish. Where's he stand in all this? But
if he can stand right now, who knows?
So that's the thing. If I'm Bobby Fish, I guess I'm not going near the Performance Center right now because
he's got a target on his back.
You see the other two members of Undisputed Era get their ass kicked from Adam Cole. I guess Bobby Fish might be the smartest one in the room who hasn't shown up yet. So where does he go from here? What does he do next?
He's like the Undertaker now. They use him for War Games, and then he gets injured, and then he goes away for the rest of the year.
Yes.
Bingo.
So, if I'm Bobby Fish, I guess, what do I do?
Work on his jiu-jitsu or whatever.
If I'm Bobby Fish and Adam Cole tells me, meet me in the ring tonight on NXT, I'm going to be let's do a Zoom call or something. I'm not going to talk to you in person. I already know what's going to happen here.
I'll send you a letter.
Yeah, exactly. I'll text you. Just text me or FaceTime me.
Yeah.
We only have a discussion. Kyle O'Reilly's out, they say, 4 to 6 weeks with the disc or whatever they said. Mm-hmm. Kayfabe. He did not have a seizure.
He had a seizure.
Everyone knows.
He did.
We got to keep it kayfabe.
No. I heard that he's in the hospital, and the room under his room is actually the morgue, and that's where they're keeping Bray Wyatt.
Nice.
That would be funny if WWE had their own hospital.
It's not a hospital. It's a medical facility.
Kyle O'Reilly's on one floor. Yeah, Bray's body's on another floor.
Yeah, and
they don't say
Bruno Sammartino's frozen.
Yeah,
they're gonna bring him back.
They're gonna get his DNA
in case of emergency. Break glass.
Get Bruno back.
They got to get his DNA.
It's obviously, this is going to lead to Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly in the near future.
Yep.
And if you watch their work in Ring of Honor, and I think even PWG, they put on banger matches. So it should be really good. My guess is Kyle O'Reilly is probably going to win, and Adam's probably going to move up to Raw or SmackDown by himself. So I think that's what it's going to lead to. So whenever the next takeover is, they haven't announced anything. So I don't know if it's going to be Mania weekend or a separate.
What do you think that they should do with him if they put him up on the main roster?
God,
I've got one, and I hate to say it because of the comparison. However, I think it would be kind of cool.
I mean,
I think
you think he should go the Shawn Michaels route?
No, kind of, but no. I think that they should pair him up with still be a singles guy, but have friends, right? Bad guys always need friends. Pair him up with AJ and Almost. Not tag teaming unless he's going to tag with Almost.
But have like a little stable.
Yeah, kind of you have my back, I have yours.
Yeah.
Former Bullet Club members as well.
Oh, yeah.
Shh, don't say that. They won't do it if you say it.
Oh, damn it.
But at different time periods, they never actually existed at the same time.
Tommy, help!
So I don't know. What
Hey, the saying goes, if you dig yourself in a hole, stop digging.
I would love to see Adam Cole be successful on the main roster. I am worried, though, just based on the track record in the last year of who's been called up there. It's been argued.
It's Adam Cole, though. This is different. Like, you're comparing other people to Adam Cole.
I know. He is. He's the best. Do you think he's the all-time best?
All Vince needs to see is the Undisputed Era T-shirt sales. And he's a star. God damn it. Look at that smile.
Would you say...
look at those teeth. They're so white.
He must have a good dentist.
What kind of shampoo does he use?
but I just think for Adam...
Does he use conditioner?
That's just it. Like, if anything for Adam Cole, if Vince could treat him like Shawn Michaels-esque, he'll be fine on the main roster.
I think it would help if Shawn Michaels was one of those people that went and told Vince, hey, this is one of the guys I've been working on a lot.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure Vince has a report on. So
I would hope so. I know there were reports last year that Vince thought Riddle was like Shawn Michaels 2.0, and he's been kind of more booked like Rob Van Dam back in the day. So but it's going to be fun. I think if anything for the next couple months, enjoy this time with Adam Cole, because who knows if he'll be on NXT by this summer. So I just, that's if anything in the back of my head, just enjoy this time.
He's a night after Raw guy, Raw after Mania.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You got to April potentially. So you got a little less than 6-7 weeks.
There's another takeover, right?
Nothing's been announced yet, but you would imagine there's probably gonna be one announced soon. So, yeah, man, I figure just enjoy your time, because I think this is probably the exit strategy for Adam Cole to move on from NXT. So, enjoy it. So, but nonetheless, great segment there. And like I said, Roderick Strong, hopefully his huevos are okay now. So
there's one other thing I think that's very important that we talked about from NXT.
And what is that?
What is that?
Cameron Grimes watching the $1 Million Man video.
Yes.
And they got stupider and stupider as the night went on.
So the video, the first segment, it was 3 segments. The first segment...
He didn't finish the video. So
I was like...
you can't dribble a ball 10 times.
I remembered that promo or that segment, and I missed that from WWE when they used to do the interviews or whatever with their back to the crowd up on on the
platform.
ramp. Platform over there. Smackdown, remember, did it for a while when AJ was champion a few years ago.
Yeah.
They only did it a little bit, then
with
they stopped
Renee.
it. Yeah,
I
like that. I wish they would do that more often, but maybe they figure, it's better do in the middle of the ring, or if it's a backstage segment, then they could play up on the big screen. I don't know. I love that style, but yeah, when they.
I'm with you too. Like, even a moment of bliss. Like, I like the moment of bliss because they did it on the ramp.
Yeah, exactly. So,
like, why does Ding Dong Hello need to be
in the ring?
In the ring, like, it makes more sense to put a door by the ramp where they come out.
in front of the gorilla position.
It's funny for us on TV right now, but like once there's a live crowd, you're not hiding anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
You've just got some jerk off standing on the other side of the door.
So what's funny is, and I love when they do this, we'll play old footage from back in the day. So especially for the younger audience who hasn't seen it, I think it's a great history lesson. It's like, hey, this is a great segment from back in the day. You should watch on the WWE Network when you can. But he's watching the video and I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. He's got a bunch of money now. He's going to try to be like Ted DiBiase. And he started watching the video and then he stopped. I'm like, wait, why'd you stop?
Yeah.
And then
he couldn't figure it out.
He made the guy dribble, and the guy dribbled 10 times. He took the $1,000 and he said, you got to watch the rest of the Ted DiBiase video. That's what he told him. He was like, Ted DiBiase! Like, he started just getting mad.
Now he wants a feud with Ted DiBiase.
Okay, well, no, what's it? So, and then the next segment,
which I feel like if this continues, we're going to get Ted DiBiase on NXT.
I think so. We have to. So next up, he's outside and he gets the one who are newer NXT recruits. I think she's a former WNBA player.
Yeah. And she's dribbling between her legs and he can't get it.
She crosses him because he tries to kick it and she crosses him and he misses. So it's another $1,000 he's got to give. And then the last one, it's like nighttime. He's like pissed off.
He's desperate.
The guy, said it's like the Ted DiBiase video, and he starts dribbling like 1, 2, and then Cameron just punches him in the face. And he's like, Ted DiBiase's not gonna get one over me, and kiss my grits or whatever it was, and walks off. By the way, you notice how sweaty his back was?
Yeah.
I don't that Florida humid heat is getting to Cameron Grimes. But I enjoyed this. He punched him and he threw the money and he was like, ha ha! Like he finally got one over at the end of the day. So
one over on Ted DiBiase.
So do we get Ted DiBiase Sr. on NXT, or maybe Junior can make a comeback? Or
I'd love that.
Yeah.
He was the talented one in Legacy.
So yeah, I would love to see if they can get Ted DiBiase to make an appearance and maybe either like call him out or maybe becomes his protege or mentor to him.
Hey, if they can get Michael P.S. Hayes back, I mean, what the hell?
Well, I would assume they're going to do something, considering the time of year it is right now.
Yeah.
They're probably going to keep building this up a little bit with Ted DiBiase, and Ted's going to show up with IRS, who's going to tell Cameron Grimes what he owes.
He's been spending way too much money.
Yeah.
And he's going to be broke again, back to his normal self.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's a good way to get out of this gimmick. Let it ride for a bit, and then, he's...
Then the tax man comes to collect.
Oh, yeah, and taxes are in April, so this can go for a little bit longer.
It is, yeah.
Oh, that'd be funny.
It'd be great.
He bought too many cars, then he crashed, and he's built up too much fines and stuff. So that'd be funny. Yeah, I'm all for that. Let's see. Anything else from NXT did you want to touch on real quick?
No.
I mean, there was
really.
a lot. I mean, there was a lot that happened.
I'm hyped about something, about the big return on SmackDown.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I mean, like you said,
I don't think you know what I'm talking about.
The big return. Okay, well, let me see. I mean, there's a lot coming up in NXT next week's episode, which we can touch on. But yeah, those are the big three things, right?
Do you want to talk about the signees?
Oh, yeah. Do you want to touch on the signees real quick, or
Sure.
Are we doing on time?
Not great, but let's go through it quick.
Okay. You sure? Or maybe we can hold off on that one.
Right.
Yeah, let's hold off on the signees. They'll be popping up more soon. All right, so we're gonna wrap up NXT this week. There's plenty of more stuff we can touch on next week's episode. All right, moving on over to this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. The big thing, the main event picture scene, obviously Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Edge, Jey Uso. A lot going on here, so a lot to kind of figure out. And there was a lot of people kind of discussing this, and some people really like what's going on, some people don't like what's going on. Roman Reigns came out to pretty much celebrate what happened at Elimination Chamber.
His big victory.
Yeah, big victory in 90 seconds.
Yeah, that's a big win over Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan comes out, more or less.
Hey, the only other person to beat Daniel Bryan that quick was Sheamus. So
that's right. 8 seconds?
Kudos to Roman Reigns.
Yeah. So the big thing with Daniel Bryan, he comes out, though, interrupts him and says, you're pretty much a coward. You couldn't defend it in the Elimination Chamber. You had to wait till I won the chamber after defeating 5 other guys. A long night. He was beat up. You come out and beat me up in 90 seconds. You're a coward.
No, he's not. He's not a coward.
So,
Danny, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You're there. It's so early. You'd imagine that Roman wants to get the match over and done with quick and go back to catering, right? The food's still fresh. Like you're not going to wait to the end of the night and be, I'm so hungry. I can't eat till after my match. He just wanted to eat and get out of there.
He's hungry. His belly.
He's a hungry boy.
You got to keep the protein in him for the muscles.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's discuss what happened next. So Daniel Bryan wants to challenge him for a rematch at Fastlane. Jey Uso interrupts him, says, if you get through me, then you can get your match. And it was officially announced that Daniel Bryan will take on Jey Uso later on the night. If Daniel Bryan wins, he will then get his match against Roman at Fastlane. I guess Adam Pearce, we saw backstage, revealed that the planned main event for Fastlane was supposed to be a tag match. Daniel Bryan, Edge teaming up against Jay and Roman. Edge comes in and he's a little pissed off because he's like, whoa, why does Daniel Bryan get a match, a Universal title match ahead of me before WrestleMania? And I actually appreciated this detail as far as Edge being upset, because if you think about it, when he made his decision, he picked Roman as his opponent. It's not so much the title. There's a lot of people saying, well, why is Edge upset? He's still going to get his title shot at WrestleMania. Well, I think it's not so much which title he was going after. It's more about the opponent. And so for him, he made his decision based on the opponent. He wants to take on Roman Reigns. Now, that might get thrown at the door, kayfabe-wise, because he might have to take on Daniel Bryan now. And I know a couple weeks ago he told Daniel Bryan, I would love to challenge you or, wrestle you at some point. But he probably just said that in good parting words, just being a good baby face. So I don't know, Richard, do you kind of agree with Edge and why he's a little frustrated here? I think it's a good way to
I don't care. It was an entertaining show.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I enjoyed that little conflict between Daniel Bryan and Edge. They're both going after Roman. Edge is a little upset though, because wait a sec, I said I won the Royal Rumble, and now this guy
Who's Edge beat the last 10 years? Nobody. He hasn't beat anyone. Exactly. Who cares?
But I'm just saying, I appreciate that detail as far as why Edge is upset, because it's like, whoa, Daniel Bryan is now jumping ahead of me now, and that's not fair. And so, as far as that little conflict between the two of them, so
who's had more wins this year? Just Daniel Bryan or Edge? Daniel Bryan
was on a losing streak. He jobbed out to Cesaro and
how many matches did Edge win this year?
One.
Did Daniel Bryan win one match this year?
I think so far.
More than one?
I think so. Yeah, Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, so there you go. So Daniel Bryan is in the right. But Edge wins one match, and now he thinks he's the number one contender for everything?
So
he's the number one contender at WrestleMania, not Fastlane. What a dick. So, all right, Tommy? Back me up, Tommy.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
So main event, we saw Daniel Bryan take on Jey Uso, ended in a double counter. I enjoyed the match. Jey Uso was really working on Daniel Bryan's knee, the same one that got beat up at Elimination Chamber. Ended a double count out.
Who cares? Let's talk about the big return.
Well, no, I was going to say real quick. Talking smack real quick. It was just a reveal. Well, no, listen, they're going to have a steel cage match next week. If Daniel wins, he gets his match with Roman at Fastlane. If Jay wins, Daniel has to bow down to Roman Reigns and declare him head of the table. So that's something to look forward to. Steel cage match next week. All right, please. Who's the big return?
You know how Bray Wyatt is now inside of Alexa Bliss in a way that none of us expected?
Go on.
So on SmackDown, I noticed that his brother Bo Dallas is now inside of Seth Rollins.
What? How?
Wait.
Go back and watch Seth Rollins talk to Cesaro.
Yeah.
And the way he was talking was so Bo Dallas of him about meeting your true potential.
Yeah.
And there's no brass ring for you to grab. I can help you get there.
Yeah.
All you have to do is believe.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I was dying. That was so funny to me.
No, I will admit, I love that segment with Cesaro and Seth Rollins.
I did too.
It was hilarious.
I mean, okay, once Seth Rollins, finally, I think his character is a little bit better than it was last year as far as this Messiah figure, whatever. Because last year, I think the character
the character was used to make other people. This year, he's getting himself back over.
Well, and the thing was, last year it was so focused on Rey Mysterio and Dominic.
Yeah,
like I felt like his character got lost in the shuffle with all that and how long that was stretched out for. I think Seth Rollins as this character, he should go around try to pick out people like, listen, follow me, I can make you better. If they don't fall in line, then he can beat the crap out of them. That's a simple premise right there for this character.
Yeah.
Cesaro's now the first one of this new incarnation of him, his return. He's like, listen, join me. I can make you a better performance. Cesaro was like, no, I'm not. And then he started beating him down. And he got him down. And Seth Rollins was like, pick me up or get me up. He was like,
put me down.
And then Cesaro starts swinging him. And I started laughing. I told Tommy, come here, watch this.
I had to watch.
I was laughing because Seth, the way his hands were just flinging in the air and his long hair and
he looked like the inflatable people at the car dealership.
Yes,
or Bailey's old
Bailey buddy.
Bailey buddy.
He looked like a Bailey buddy.
But then his jacket was like falling off, and he was just like flinging. He's like, ah! So I was laughing at this. It was so well done. Like Cesaro has done so many great. What do you call them? Spinner. I was going to say spinneroonies.
Cesaro swing.
Cesaro swing. I mean, he's done so many of them as far as, big guys, smaller guys, doing it for like over 20 times and big matches. It's great. So, but this one might be my favorite, just the way Seth Rollins acted out. And his jacket finally flew off. It was great.
It sounded like something from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
When they're picking on the nerds.
So no, it was great. I said I like this, and so
or Coneheads.
So is this gonna lead to a match, maybe at Fastlane or Mania? That's yet to be seen. But I think this is a great. I cannot wait to see what type of matches the two of them could do together. So
I think it'd be great.
That'd be great. The other big thing was Bianca Belair officially announcing her opponent for WrestleMania, Sasha Banks. I mean, they had
pointed at the sign and everything.
I know, and got pyro. That's a big deal, man. You point at the sign, you get pyro. That's cool.
I got to get a sign in here.
You start pointing to it. You don't start your day off until you point.
Yeah.
So they had a video package for Asuka and Sasha Banks. I don't know about you guys. Do you think they should have had maybe one for Io Shirai? Just like how Edge went to NXT to confront Finn Balor? Do you think they should have just at least acknowledged Io Shirai as a possible opponent for Sasha Banks? I'm sorry, for Bianca Belair.
No. She didn't even go down to NXT.
Yeah, that's true.
She showed up backstage at Raw and she showed up on SmackDown. So that's nitpicking. I don't care.
So she has flat out just called out Sasha Banks and says she really wants to prove she's the EST. And while Sasha's like, well, no, I'm the best. Reginald, was trying to interfere and trying to, persuade Bianca not to go up against Sasha because he has such a big crush on her. So obviously he's trying to protect her, and who knows, obviously Carmella's still lurking in the background, so
he's simping for Sasha.
So I don't know, is this going to lead to Bianca and Carmella for Fastlane, just the whole thing's over until the Mania match takes place?
Sure.
I hope it doesn't lead to a triple threat. I want Bianca versus Sasha one-on-one. That's what I want.
I've got one. Oh, go ahead.
No, at Mania, that's what I want. Do whatever you want with Carmella next month just to get through Fastlane. That's fine. But for Mania, keep it one-on-one.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Yeah. What did you think of Apollo's new character, number one, and his match with Nakamura?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed it. The repackaging somewhat.
It's about time.
It seems natural.
It. Yeah. First of all, when he started cutting the promo, I'm thinking to myself, man, they should have put him in the Hurt Business. And then as he kept going, it was like, no, this is better on its own. Like when he pulled off the scarf and explained the colors, and it was just like, this is a really good turn for him.
Yeah.
Really good. And he looked great in the match. And I don't think Nakamura was hurt by it at all, because he the way he jumped Nakamura before Nakamura even got his robe off.
Well, and also for me, what I enjoyed, this was a natural build. It didn't happen in just 1 week. Like 1 week something happened, and the next week he's like pissed off. And
this is over the last year.
Oh, the last couple months, especially because you think about it. Remember, was it December when he ran into a Big E in the hallway, and he's like, "Hey, I want to be your first challenger." And they had the match. He lost, and then he had another match, and Big E, eventually told him like, "Hey, I'm not going to rest you anymore. Go sit in catering." And I like what he said in his promo. you told me to go sit in catering. Instead, I went to go find my roots or go return to my roots.
Yeah.
So that was great. And I like how he just felt being honest. He was like, listen, I'm not from the hood. I'm not from suburbia or the suburbs. I'm from Nigeria, or his family's roots are based in Nigeria. So it just seems more authentic. And I really enjoyed it. I like the outfit. I mean, it's a nice little simple repackage with the attire. And I like how
it looked great. It looked really, I really enjoyed that.
And I like how he used even the scarf in the match a little bit, trying to pull himself, and he
yanked it. And it makes sense because look at his arms and look at Nakamura. So it makes sense that he could power Nakamura into the corner like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's those little things like that make a world of difference, where it's like, it looks kind of silly, but at the same time, if you're on someone's back and you yank them like that, it's plausible that could happen. Like they did something like that on Raw this week with Ricochet and AJ, where Ricochet was coming up to AJ and AJ just kicked his knee out from under him.
He kicked his knee out of his knee.
Yeah, he kicked his knee out of his knee. Thank you, Owen.
Sorry, that's one of our favorite.
That's one of mine too.
Bloopers ever. Yeah. I kicked your knee out of your knee. Oh, so no, but like I said, Apollo Crews, like I said, this has been a slow burn for this turn. He was very competitive. Things were not going his way. And he's like, okay, how can I get the upper hand? Okay, I need to kind of go back to my roots. And that led to this repackage. So it was a very nice progression to get to this point.
If he can keep up doing promos like that every single week, then he's going to be like a main event star, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, listen, he was a U.S. champion last year. Could he? Yeah, potentially.
Well, that's the only thing that's ever held him back from being on TV regular, is that he's never been good on the mic. He's been vanilla. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, where's this guy been? Like,
and he has layers to the character.
Yeah. Same thing with Cedric. Like, it's some of these guys, like, if they're not, like, okay, let's look at Ricochet. Maybe Ricochet needs a heel turn.
Yeah,
because like, all Ricochet, Cedric, and Apollo were three guys that have never been comfortable on a mic. Mm-hmm. And what better way than just to go out there and get heat?
Yeah.
Like, just to get your legs under you for being a babyface.
Yeah, so I'm with you. Like, I really enjoyed what Apollo did here. And, I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh, give him the IC title. It's like, oh, well, Big E just got it. So could he drop it already that fast?
That's why we don't let the fans book.
I know. So it's going to be interesting. So Big E's obviously still out injured after last week where the steel steps fell on him. And but I'm sure when he returns can pick things up with Apollo. But yeah, could this lead to a match at Fastlane? And maybe, Apollo can get the IC title, third time's a charm as far as matchups with Big E. So good stuff here. Loving it. So SmackDown very entertaining this week, and a lot of stuff to look forward to next week. And Fastlane is going to be here before we know it, and then WrestleMania. It's like, dude, it's already, I can't believe, it's going to be March tomorrow. Like, the 2021 is going by fast already. So
I had a very sad moment last night where I because my subscription was up and I canceled my WWE network.
Oh, okay. Because you're going to wait to...
because I got the Peacock.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So, Peacock's... Oh, yeah, next month.
It just felt so sad because I had the network day one.
Man, Peacock, it's going to be starting up pretty soon. So, we should definitely... we'll tune in on Peacock and kind of give maybe our honest opinions review of the newer service, how it's getting used.
I love the format. I mean, since I got it, I've been watching pretty much everything on there.
The Office.
No, Columbo.
Nice.
I've been watching. I'm on season 2 already.
That show's great.
Yeah.
Columbo, man.
Save Me. It's a great show. You don't like Peter Falk?
We watched it like when we were kids.
What do you expect?
Columbo.
Yeah, it's a great show. What do you expect? The last movie I saw was Hooper. Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh my God. Oh, that's funny. Oh,
that's
my
on
God.
Peacock. Wow.
Yeah. No, we should explore Peacock, see what other gems are up there.
I'm still waiting for Miami Vice to be on Peacock.
I think that they should start doing Columbo episodes again, and he can try to get down to what Randy Orton did to Bray Wyatt. I think we need when Leslie Nielsen tried to find the Undertaker. Remember that?
He's gonna sniff it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh man. On that note, let's start wrapping things up. Oh man, a lot of fun stuff on NXT and SmackDown this week.
A lot of good things on Columbo this week. Let me tell you.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Richard's going to launch a Columbo review podcast.
You said I haven't already.
I'm down with that.
It's called Finding Columbo. You can find it on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
Oh my God. You should be Columbo for Halloween.
No, I don't have a lazy eye.
That'd be fantastic.
All right, on that note, Richard, where can the Kliqsters find you online?
You can find me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube under the Finding Columbo podcast. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at Finding Columbo, and send your hate tweets to @BabyHuey83 on Instagram and Twitter.
Oh my God. This is never going to end now. It's a new...
Tommy, plug your social media.
Tommy, where Kliqsters can find you?
First of all, I want to give a big shout out to Bronson Steiner, the newest signee to NXT. But you could in the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at IronFist1982.
I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official, Twitter and Instagram, as Richard just said, Baby Huey83.
Hate mail.
As always, like I said, top of the show, remember, subscribe to In The Kliq. Leave us a 5-star review and a rating on a 5-star rating and a review over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform. InTheKliq@gmail.com. Follow us on social media. Get the merch. All that good stuff. And thank you in advance for all the support. All right, let's go home. And that's the bottom line, because Huey said so.